Hello and welcome to This Changed My Life, the Hindu's latest podcast offering. Every week, a guest talks to us about a moment, idea, place, or person that transformed their lives forever. I'm Sanjana Ganesh, a reporter and sub-editor from The Hindu, and today we have actor Rohini with us. She was most recently in Dude, but audiences who watched the likes of Magalir Mattum and Marubadiyum will be unable to forget her performances then. Limiting her introduction to just being an actor would be unfair though. For years now, she's written scripts, performed on theatre stages, penned lyrics for popular songs, and has lent her voices to several actresses. You can also catch her at a protest or two, particularly on issues concerning gender, standing up for what's right.
I'm just trying to see Tamil directors have just started coming back to me, or I can say that new directors have started coming to me. I was promoted to 8th standard. I kept writing letters to my father. We have to pay the fees. We have to pay the fees. I have to Recently, Deepika Padukone said, I want to work only 8 hours. And she pointed out rightly, many superstars have been doing only 8 hours. And I have worked with many people who do not work on Saturdays and Sundays. And, when a female actor says something like that, it is made into a huge. So it is still there only. My mom died when I was 5 years old. She committed suicide and because of domestic violence. And that is the result. Everything, got disturbed and we came here and all that. So it has always been that, what happened to my mom? Why a person goes to that extent? If anybody has a courage to commit suicide, they should live with that courage. And you're walking and you cross many trees. But have you ever said hello to the tree? Try doing that.
Hi, Rohini. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for such a lovely introduction.
So, what's been the energy like recently for you?
Yeah, it's really good. I've been very, busy with the Telugu films of late, at least 8-9 years. I haven't been getting meaty roles in Tamil that often, though I have done a movie called Witness in the Corona time, and Thandati was also a very important role I played in Tamil. But I was waiting for something really good in Tamil to happen. Because everybody says in Tamil, directors have not used you, you're underused and stuff like that. So I want to see what Tamil directors are going to offer me, seeing my Telugu films, of course. Telugu films like from Baahubali or Rangasthalam or all these. Recently, there's a movie called Court and all. I'm just trying to see Tamil directors have just started coming back to me, or I can say that new directors have started coming to me, young directors, young script writers. They're all think, okay, let's go to her. So it's quite exciting right now.
That's very fascinating to hear that there's been this resurgence on that front. And I'm very glad to see that because everyone's known you as this performer, right? Like this heavy duty actor who knows a script, who also understands the art of filmmaking itself, which is why I want to get to the meat of the matter today, which is to have you tell us what changed your life.
I started off as a child actor at 5, and I was not so interested in acting at that point of time, naturally. And then when I grew up and I started going to the school, and then I started loving that, atmosphere in school and learning and friends and being normal, treated normally. Otherwise, on the sets, you are not treated like a child. You're expected to perform according to what the director wants, and you are you have to be on your toes because the light is going, or the hero has to go, or we have to finish the scene. So many scenes, the schedule has to be finished, and as a child you can't take that kind of time to. So that pressure was there, and at one point of time when I was neither a child nor an adult, I had to take a break, and I started going to the school, and I attended 5th standard straight up. And then I went to, and then 5th standard, I got really interested in studies, and then I was promoted to 7th standard. And then I was doing 7th standard, and so I did really well in 7th standard. But unfortunately, what happened was my father was trying his hand at distribution of films. Um, but then he bought a movie for Nellore district and all that. It was a Telugu film, but then the film bombed. Like, it didn't do well, and we were like at zero. And then he came back to me. I kept writing to him. So that one moment changed my life. If that film did well, I would have continued studying. But the film bombed, and we were really in bad state financially. So he came back and said, like, I can't send you to school, and we have to try and see if you can get any roles. I was 13 years old then. And so I remember meeting many producers, directors, and trying to see if I can get a role. So one or two roles I got as sister, and my father was really happy for that. And then suddenly I got this opportunity to act as heroine in a Malayalam film called Kakka against Raghuvaran, and that was my first movie as a heroine. I was 14 years old. So, but this incident, when I did so well in studies, and I was promoted to 8th standard. I kept writing letters to my father. We have to pay the fees. We have to pay the fees. I have to, But then he never used to reply. I knew something was wrong. Why isn't he replying? And then he came back and said, like, you can't go to school. So that is one incident which changed my life a lot, because that is why I think I kind of like, try to read whatever I can get my hands on and try to understand, because I was not able to continue my studies.
That is such a heavy burden to carry as a 13-year-old. And then to say that continued to direct your life in many ways is remarkable, right? But I have read while researching for this interview that at some point it also led to you reaching this calling, which is dramatics and acting. And did you find your passion later?
I can say, there was a turning point again. Like, even then, like after I came back to films after that, stopped my, education and came back to films, I was not interested in acting at all. I was just doing it because it is a means for us to earn money for the family. But then when I started working with filmmakers like Bharatan sir and Padmarajan sir, Shashi Kumar, and great filmmakers in Malayalam, and also worked with Nedumudi Venu, Kudiyettum Gopi. So Nedumudi Venu is the person who actually, changed my perception about how I need to look at this profession. So because I used to just like, mug up dialogues and just repeat whatever, and I just wanted to get it over with and go back home and like, So he said, see, you don't understand where you are. You are very lucky to be here in this, field. So many people are dying to become actors, and it is here in front of you. It's given to you. Don't tell me how it came or whatever it is, but like, you are in this place. So just try and see what you can do, because it's a lovely profession. It's an art form. You need to look at it as an art form and understand the art form, and then you should like it. And that's when I understood, and I started watching his movies, and that is when I understood, like, what a lovely thing I got into. It's because of him I started taking acting very seriously. And from then on, it's been my obsession.
So from then on, you've not just limited yourself to being an actor. Either right beyond this realm, you've also been a dubbing artist. You've And that's one part of it, because voice acting really requires the acting. I can only imagine the number of takes it takes to have a scream replicated on screen well. But also that you write and that you've tried to learn this entire aspect of filmmaking. And I know that this quest to be a film director has always been there. Would you say that that's perhaps part of an unfulfilled experience, or like, do you feel like, through that process you've also really found a voice?
So when I continued as an actor, I realized my shortcomings also. I realized that I have so much to learn. And when I looked around, I am like, surrounded by actors like Mohanlal, Tilakan sir, KPSC Lalita, and, Achan Kunyam, Shankaradi sir. In Malayalam, if you name any actor, they're so natural, they're so good. And Odivullu Krishnan, these people are all like, coming from the theatre. And each and every one is such a, bundle of talent. And they do it so easily. So I've started understanding, I've started observing these actors, and I also started observing, what is the difference between Naziruddin Shah's performance and another popular actor's performance. What is it making this performance seem so heavy, so dense? So I understood, like, theater is the difference. Okay. So I started doing theater. So I kind of like, self-taught myself in that way. So when I started doing theater, that is another turning point, I can say. Like, theater just doesn't teach you how to perform or how to understand its mind, body, voice, right? For an actor. But mind is the most important. So if whatever you put it in your mind only will dictate how your voice or your body is reacting. So what are you feeding your mind? So that is when the literature part came in. So I started reading. I used to read a lot before that, because, like, I used to feel very uh, inferior. I had this inferiority complex because I was not able to talk properly. I did not know English. I did not know any languages. I felt like, I'm uneducated, and so I used to read a lot. But then literature, proper literature, theater only took me into it. Theater made me look around me, look around at people, and why these things are. So those questions, it made me question. It made me go on a quest. You just don't accept everything as it is told to you, but you need to look at it. Um, uh, you need to know the truth. Why is it like this? So that is where my whole world got, it's opened up to people around me, because till then I was just this one cinema, sets, shooting, dubbing, all that, only that. I have to look good, I have to diet, I have to perform well, I should do better than that person, or I should get this meaty role. That's all was my life. But then I started looking at people and understanding the society, why it is working like this, why is it like this, why some people are not treated equally. And then that is where theater shaped up my personality, I feel. And from where we have come, why we are able to wear what we are able to wear now, how it was earlier for women. So all this was more educative than, a university could have given me, I feel.
What a lovely take on the whole thing. And I know that this is that there's so much evidence surrounding this, because the first time I saw you in person was during this conference that the All India Women's Democratic Association had held, and it was about something really tragic. It was about the Kausalya and Shankar case, where Shankar was tragically murdered in a caste-based killing, in an honor killing incident. And there you were up on stage in a black kurta talking to people about this. But I know that subsequently gender has played a really important, like gender and gender-based issues have played a really important role in your life. You've done many TV shows that have spotlit women, but outside of that, it's also been, you've also spoken about how, certain women are expected to play certain roles in films as well, right? And you've not met that convention, but you've chosen to move away from that. Is I'm quoting you from an article that you'd spoken about in the Hindu with in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. And to me, that's very fascinating because how can you talk to us a little bit about the depth of gender in your life? What does it mean to you to be a woman today?
It's not easy to be in this field. Wanting to be, it's very, very recently Deepika Padukone said, like, I want to work only 8 hours. And she pointed out rightly, like, many superstars have been doing only 8 hours. And I have worked with many, people who do not work on Saturdays and Sundays. And, when a female actor says something like that, it is made into a huge. So it is still there only. But at least we are able to voice it out now, and there is a support definitely. My observation is that the camera which is showing through the filmmaker's eye, right? But the camera is whose gaze? It's a man's gaze, definitely, because that's why it's only looking at a man's struggle. A female struggle also is seen from a man's gaze. Man's gaze. That is the reason why, like, when a heroine is introduced, or everywhere, like, the physical qualities become very, very important. And they do not take the center stage most often. Almost 80% of our films center stage is taken by a male protagonist. So when there is a female protagonist, it is termed as a female centric, but it's like, saying like a novel or writing is a woman writing, they say. But when it is a man's writing, you never term it as a man's writing, right? Writer is, accepted as a man. A woman writer, you have to say woman director, woman centric. So though basically what sells here is that. So we cannot say, okay, you make these kind of films and don't say it is women centric, but still expected to do well. But it is economics, right? So economics la varumbodha, you are at a place where popular ideas, who likes to watch these films, who would like to come more in numbers and watch these movies. So we are catering to the demand. We are not creating a demand and saying that, supply and demand is like that. So it's still not equal, but we are pushing at it, and we have found a lot of space, and we have found our voice, like, even now directors have started talking about how to treat a woman, and in a small way, but in movies it was not there earlier. So the younger generation, I really have hopes on younger generation. I don't care what kind of form they are taking, their Gen Z form they are taking, like, they want to do all these frenzy, that kind of thing. All is fine. Like, you have, Carnatic Sangeetam, and you have jazz music. You have folk music here in this soil, and you still have, some other kind of a music. Classical music also is from this own soil. So it's not like, the form matters, but what you say matters. What you say matters. What you say is taking the center stage now. So I have a lot of hopes in the younger filmmakers trying to break the barriers. Like, I saw this movie called Thappad. It was made by a man. I felt so good. I don't know if I would have made that movie, but I did not have the guts to make it because I was scared. Who will watch this movie? You know? So we are, as filmmakers, as a filmmaker, what is like holding me back is like, I want to make a film which has been seen, which is seen by many people, most of the people, because people who are going to come and invest in my subject should get back their returns, right? Should get back there. So slightly I'm hesitating at that point of time because, but I have seen this fantastic men who wrote such beautiful films and they're making such beautiful movies for everybody to understand. So I think that is a great promise this generation is giving us.
That's really fascinating, and it keeps pulling me back to your activism question. When did this consciousness begin? You said you were reading a lot. Did that contribute to it, or was it many other aspects? How did you? Because it takes a lot to come up outside and then stand up for what you believe in. Right? You could have morals and ideals, but going beyond that and then voicing it out in a public forum, especially at a time when more and more actors are choosing to tone their politics down and just be actors, right?
Yeah.
It takes quite the courage to do that. Where do you draw your strength from?
So first and foremost, I would like to clearly say that I'm not a politician. I'm not interested in politics or the active whatever vote politics and all that. But when I started observing whatever is happening around me, there is this person who has emerged through all these years. So that person is talking. So that person wants to keep this actor also in mind. Oh, I have also gone through this dilemma where, if I speak up, what's going to happen to my acting career?
Right.
Am I going to, because I have to support my son's dream and all those things are there. I have to be on the run. But then I could not silence this side of me. I could not say, shut up, don't talk. Now is not the time, or whenever there is time, I will let you come out. No. As a person, I think I became this person who has to voice, who has to create awareness or say that such and such things are not acceptable. It's not good for our people. I say it is not good for our people. So I would have done this if I was a lawyer. I would have done this if I was a housewife, not into any profession also. I would have done this if I was a banker or anything else. So here I would like to say that, I don't want to suppress that personality of mine because that is me, right? I'm just not an actor. 24 hours when I'm an actor, no, it's my profession, it's my bread and butter, that's it. Of course, I love it. I will do anything for that profession because it is also very creative. And that gives me so much of variety and it allows me to learn a lot. It allows me to meet many people and go fly and push my boundaries. My art gives me that. But as a person, I am this, and I don't want to suppress that voice. So that is how it started. And then when I started, expressing, there were like-minded people, and we all came together, and I became part of this Progressive Writers Association, Tamil Nadu Murpokku Ezhuthalar Kalaignar Sangam. Adula, what can I do to create this awareness? My theater is my songs. I write songs. I write or I speak.
Interestingly, to me, all of this is reminds me of something that keeps coming up when people speak about you, which is the idea of resilience, right? It's a really interesting word because it not just is the burden of resilience, but it's also a show of courage. Do you get tired of being resilient?
No way. No way. I feel like, Here I would like to say something very. My mom died when I was 5 years old. She committed suicide and because of domestic violence, and that is the result. Everything got disturbed, and we came here and all that. So it has always been that what happened to my mom? Why a person goes to that extent? And I always thought that should not happen to anybody. So that is where I'm like, and there is this thing about when I see people around me, and when I see them really not getting it together, no, I feel they just need one somebody to just sit with them and say you want to talk? I'm here to listen to you. You want to say something? And if there was that one person to my mom, I think she would have been alive. And I think we are not being there for others. So instead of getting depressed about it, I think I have taken um, one thing from that and saying we should be there for others.
Mhm.
So if you there are many things I have done, it's not just through literature only. In my 20th year, I started supporting 2 children in SOS village. I became their godmother. We used to go and meet them. They used to call me Akka. So I somewhere I feel like we should not disconnect it with others. So this keeps me going. I think, like I said, one thing which changed my life was that um, 7th standard time lab. Though I recall it with sadness sometimes, because I feel like if I was allowed to continue my studies, I would have done something to this society, definitely in a very different way, like maybe civil society or something like that. I would have done. That is my personality. But I still feel that it took me into this field, film industry, art. But I took this also as my companion to do whatever I wanted to do, I feel. So, in a way, this is a happy accident. Sometimes I feel bad, but sometimes I feel really good. This strength comes from my art. I don't know if I was in a very 9 to 5 job or a routine job or not a job oriented person or housewife தான் இருந்திருப்பேனோ என்னமோ தெரியாது. But I don't know if I would have reached out to so many people. I know many people uh, are looking at somebody to say something uh, good and something powerful. I always said this, I read Radhika's interview. That was my darkest time. I did not know what to do. And she said, if anybody has a courage to commit suicide, they should live with that courage. So sweet. So I said, hey, somebody said something like that and it reached me. And if I say something and if it reaches one person, and that's what we are here for, I feel like, it's not just, we are not an isolated, journey. So what keeps me going is this our society. Whatever is happening, I want everybody to have a great life and opportunities in the right way, and we should progress in the right way.
You are talking about being there for so many other people, but what of your vulnerabilities, of your vulnerable moments? Who's there for you?
Yeah, now my son is there. There are many friends, I know how to ask for help. When I'm vulnerable, I say, I'm not feeling good. Please come and stay with me. Or I just there are many, many ways I kind of like, pick myself up with a chocolate or with an ice cream.
Do you have any favorites? Tell us. We'll also add them to our munch list.
So, I mean, I don't think a good, nice something to eat will not change your mood. So I think I really love this movie by Abbas Kiarostami, Taste of Cherries. There's this one, the guy is on the quest to commit suicide, and he's trying to pay somebody to make his grave or something, and all. He goes around and there's this guy who says like, yeah, I tried to do that, but then I ate one cherry and I decided it's not worth leaving this and dying. So the film is called Taste of Cherries. It speaks about, how fortunate we are to have this time, have this body, have this mind which can think, and you can speak, and you can see, you can hear, and you're saying, oh, something's wrong in this life, and I'm going through, you're crying nonsense. You look at people who do not have this, you look at people who do not have the next meal, they don't have the roof, and they do not know whether they're going to live. Like you see in Palestine, what is their life like? What are you complaining about? It's absolute madness if we still sit here and say that, somebody has to pick me up அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு.
But like of chronic mental illness and those kind of phases, then what do we do of that?
1 out of 4 people in our India are affected with some kind of mental, I can say like, affected by that. It, ranges from schizophrenia to bipolar to depression, many, things. One thing is that care is very important. Second thing is that when you can't help yourself, you have to seek help. Medication is very, very important, but along with medication, your care is very big. And that care, if you can start giving yourself first, and speak to people who will hear you, not just, okay, but who will hear your loneliness, or who will hear your vulnerability, who will hear your struggle with that. That is very important. Life taught me all this, but most importantly, I feel that one time which did not let me just, go into academics, but made me an artist, is the point which defined my journey. It is a beautiful journey, definitely. I'm not regretting it.
That is so nice to hear, and thank you for talking about mental health so it's so candidly, because it's rarely spoken about. But I think outside of that, you have to tell me your chocolate list. I just want to know what you eat when you're like sad. I also want to buy the same stuff and see if it cures me.
Not chocolate இல்லை என்ன கிடைக்குதோ அதை சாப்பிட்டு சோறு முக்கியன்ற மாதிரி தான். No, it's not that. It's about finding that connect. Sometimes nature gives us the connect. You just need not do anything. Like when you are nearer to a tree, if you can just touch the tree and feel that oneness, we are isolating ourselves from nature, which we're not supposed to do that. Because if you see any other creature, they're all living with the nature, right? We are the only ones who we have walls, and we kind of like sit. We don't even look at the sky. Have you ever seen, just sit there and look at the sky and changing colors? That moment will never come back. It's so beautiful. and we are able to articulate it. We are able to see it, live the moment. So living the moment is more important. So even the taste is also trying to take you to connect with the moment. So it is a very frivolous way of saying it, but what I meant was like, I get connected with moment, I get connected with this being, அப்படின்ற மாதிரி தான். So this being I wanted to be connected. So that is a very philosophical way. The philosophical way of saying things will not reach people.
I
So,
understand.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why we say take a chocolate or take an ice cream, or it's just like, But really, I take energy from this nature. If you just see, like, and you're walking and you cross many trees, but have you ever said hello to the tree? Try doing that. It's a beautiful thing, actually. Hi.
Does it speak back to you?
Yes, it does. Don't you think so? That's why it's turning green. It's giving us rain. It is giving
Absolutely.
us. So they're working. Like, there is a beautiful poem by Bharatiyar. He says, like, புல் பூண்டு இந்த செடி கொடி மரம் கொடிகள் எல்லாம் என்ன தொழில் செய்து வாழ்கின்றனவோ. He's saying it is their profession. Okay, what is the profession? The tree's profession is to, be what it is supposed to be. Give us fruits and, feed us. Right. அவை அனைத்தும் அன்பு செய்தல் கண்டீர் அப்படின்றாரு. அவை அனைத்துமே நமக்கு அன்பு செஞ்சுக்கிட்டு இருக்கு அப்படின்றத நீங்க உணரணும். Don't you think so? This beautiful, magnificent, lovely nature is giving us love every moment. Every moment.
Every time the sky changes color.
Every moment it is there for us. The air is there for us. And, we are living because of this. And how does it have to say hello in a way I will understand? Hey, I'm wrapping you with my love. Where do, will you ask a mother? Say, Amma, do you love me? Why you never say you love me, Amma? Hey, I gave you birth, da. What more of an expression do you need for me to say that I love you? I gave a part of you, part of myself to you. அப்படின்றதா. So this nature gave a part. We are part of this nature. But realizing that, acknowledging that, and taking strength from that is we need to do. It may sound very childish. It may sound very, romantic. But if you just go to a desert where you don't have water, you'll know. We make movies about it. We write stories about it. You, as a journalist, would have written so much of things about. So, we don't have to, advertise. Like, this is the first time I'm even saying this on, because I do not know. Many children may see this. Many women may see this. Many people may see this. They feel they are lonely, but they're not lonely. Like they say, no, one and the second is around you. So we are two.
Right.
Who's the second? Nature. So you're never alone. You just take the strength wherever you can take it from. அப்படின்றதுதான். Eventually, life is that only. It's not about, war, or it is not about sending rockets, or it's not about bringing that dust from moon to create some helium here. No, it's not about that. We have this life, live to the fullest, live every moment with happiness. We are basically happy people. Like, you just sit alone and think, you're a happy person. Something has to happen to make you unhappy. And that's when you realize I'm unhappy. So what? Oh, your state was a happy state, right?
You're talking to an aging optimist, so it's okay. Right. Thank you. I think
I don't know how much
fantastic
of
note.
this will come in the interview, but I think I really enjoyed talking. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you chose this platform to speak about all of this to us. But I have a set of like 4 questions to quickly ask you.
Sure.
Only because I know that you're a connoisseur of world cinema and that you're a film bro, in some ways.
Yeah.
So can you tell me about perhaps the last book that you read, or a book that you keep going back to, a film that you keep going back to, and a song that you feel most connected to at this moment?
I can say movies of Abbas Kiarostami. I keep going back to his movies because I really feel that he has not made movies just to make himself very famous, or he enjoyed all that adulation, everything he enjoyed. But I think he made films because he wanted to help the mankind, humankind. I feel he only spoke about love in a different way. Um, friend to friend love, and a love about this girl and film crew. They go to shoot and all that. It's beautiful. It's only about love he spoke, but his language was so beautiful. His film language was so beautiful. So whenever I want to get back to my dream of becoming, pursuing the director dream, I go and visit his movies. I don't know if I will be making that kind of films, but I hope to make at least some few movies where people feel that, we need to understand love between value and pursue that. Second, the book you said, I've been reading many books. I read one poetry book recently, Tamil. I keep reading, and Aditya Karigalanin Kolai Vazhakku. That is one thing I was because we have this book review in December, so I finished reading it. So it is basically starts off where Kalki left in Ponniyin Selvan, and he tried to, it's fiction. It's not real, but it is written in a very interesting, investigative book, recent book. Going back to which book do I go back to is it depends upon my mood. Sometimes I want to read poetry. I go and read poetry of many poets I really feel connected to. And
Can you name a few?
there are like Manushya-putran and Sukumaran, a Telugu writer called Volga. Her writings I go back to because she has written about the gender, issues, or how we have to look at this. She has taken many, many, many dimensions and written about it. I also remember reading this kind of thing in Sharat, Bengali writer Sharat. So that is where both of us meet, Volga ma'am and myself. We speak a lot about Sharat's literature. In those days, while he was alive and the times he was living in, his literature was so progressive. So those are the things I go back to. And a song. This dude song is stuck actually. He's so cute, but
It's not escaping anyone's ear, but
yeah, I
yeah.
know. இல்ல கலையென நினைவென அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு I think he's got a knack of catching everybody's attention in that it's very easy. It's very nice. அப்படின்னு.
Thank you so much for this absolutely riveting conversation. It's been so nice to have you, but also, more importantly, it's nice to hear you speak in this capacity, for sharing as much as you did today. And we really hope that I can see your film as a feature film director. I can't wait to see your name on screen in that capacity. So good luck with that.
Thank you so much. And I really enjoyed talking to you. And thank you for listening to me.